Good morning. We are with Sebastián Santos, teacher of Marianas de Jesús. Today we are going to conduct an interview about methodologies applied in the technique and learning process of English grammar. Good morning, teacher.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to stay with you
It's
this
a pleasure
morning.
too.
Okay, so we are going to start with the interview. The first question for you is, do you think that 10 years ago there were the same teaching resources for the English language?
No, completely not. 10 years ago, we don't have the same technology that we have. Computers, internet, and ways to students search information. 10 years ago, you search you know, in a library, in books, dictionaries. Now, you put on internet and that's it. You have ears, you have translators, you have a lot of things that it's not the same. It makes it easier for students to get the information, but it also makes the students lazy.
I think
Yeah.
the same. Thank you. The next question is, what advice would you give to other teachers to implement an effective teaching method of the English language?
One advice that we need to know is that not all the students are the same. Every student has a different way to learn. Okay, most of the students like audios, other students are visuals, other students you can get by games and something like that. Maybe there are some students that are, how they can say, that they like the grammar and the way, and you need to get at all of this and make an eclectic method to teach the whole course.
Okay, thank you for your answer.
Mhm.
The third question is, how important is grammar to you as an English teacher in teaching the English language?
Okay. As I think that you already know that the grammar is taught by context. We know that the goal of high schools and schools is communicate to each other, but for bad luck of us, grammar is a very important part because it helps to the students get to know, get the how do you say, the basic ideas to get a very big answer, a greater answer to. No, so grammar is important. Not so much important as we communicate from here to here, but it is important.
Yes, I think so. For have a good conversation.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, well, you know that, for example, foreigners didn't use grammar, but here we, for Ministry of Education and something like that, we need to teach grammar to the students. But we don't need to focus just in this. Our goal is teach them to communicate from foreign people or other students.
Thank you. Do you think that grammar makes you more familiar with the English language? Why?
Well, grammar are the basic structures, the patterns that you need to follow. But if you want to be more familiar, you need to get some expressions like phrasal verbs, collocations, and to get this vocabulary. Because when you this vocabulary, you are so familiar with the language, even if you don't know grammar. So, grammar is not so familiar, but it helps.
Okay, thank you. Do you think blended learning is an effective way to teach English? If yes, please give the benefits of this technique.
Well, talking about the blended classroom is, well, for me, it's a little bit difficult because, for example, I teach teenagers. So it's a little bit difficult because in blended method we use this information for other, it's like be learning. You need to technology for this, but not all the students use the technology to get the classes. They get focused, sorry, on social media videos and something like that. And some parents don't like that the students or the children stay a lot of time in the computer. They say, "Oh no, just get your books and that's it." But it's different. So we can use it, but it depends on what students we are focusing. For example, if you are focused this degree, for me, it's better in universities because they know how much time they be in the social media and how to get this. Because it's, well, I don't know if it's just in Ecuador, but teenagers with a computer, they don't do the homework. They watch videos, games, and something like that, but not homework.
Okay, thank you. The next.
Mhm.
How do you apply the gamification method in your class? Mention examples.
Well, the gamification method I use it using, especially with kids, because kids it's not so easy. For example, you're going to teach grammar or something like that. You need to make games. The kids don't like it. It's easy when they don't like it. So we need, for example, we make a easy game as a warm up. I don't know if you have listened to this, what I have in my pocket. We put some patterns and they follow these steps. They follow the steps to get what is in the pocket and they want the prize, but they are also learning how to use this grammatical structure. It's an easy way, but I said this for kids and teenagers for same levels, not for big levels. If you do this in some big levels, big levels, the the students like games, but not for eh, but not for
Learn.
not for learning. It's just to waste time of class.
Okay. What are the impacts of implementing a flipped classroom model in education on student engagement, learning outcomes, and overall academic performance?
What about that?
Okay.
Flipped classroom. Okay. As I told you, flipped classroom is put some efforts, some practice, and for example, pre-class, class, and after class. It helps a lot, but we need to say planify this in a very good way. Even every minutes that you plan, you need to get, for example, in a yes, in a class unit and something like that. It is very good. It helps us, but as I told you, not all the parents like that the students get in a computer. Mhm.
Okay. How do you think teachers use comparative learning strategies in the teaching English?
How the cooperative teaching learning? Well, that depends a lot of teachers, but cooperative learning is one of the most important. You know, cooperate with students and strategies to make not just teacher and student. They cooperate together and helps a lot. To be honest, how I think is completely different between teacher and teacher. I have examples. For example, my colleague Jesus,
Mhm.
he can apply in one way, and other colleague apply in another way. That depends of the teacher. Mm.
Do you think that teaching with interactive games helps to learn grammar?
Yes, I know. These interactive games helps a lot, but you need to play. You need to know what level of students apply. Helps a lot. If you put, for example, a kind of games, I know how to say charada. Yeah, for example, in a computer to kids, they are going to learn even when they are playing because they like the game, and also they don't know that they are learning. But it's good. It's how to say um, I forget what it says. It's good to learn this with games and interactive games, but you need to know in what level are you going to play.
Okay, thank you. And the last question,
Mhm.
what are the most effective types of interactive games for teaching English and grammar?
In grammar, as I told you, games that involves vocabulary, okay, and certain kind of games that are so popular with, especially with kids, because we are going to focus in these kids. If they don't know they are learning, for them this is just a game, they learn better. Because if you say, as for example, a university like you need to play this game, but you're not going to play because you want it. It's because I need to play this game. It's just for the grade, and that's it. Games that involves a lot of audios, but like songs or a lot of images, big images that makes colorful images and that makes the students like, especially with kids.
Okay, so that's all for this interview. Thank you for searching with us this time.
Yeah.
And That's all. Thank you.